Hey yo, what up? Going on? What's good? Realest one, slide accordingly. Mr. Slide accordingly. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform, support a real one. Wow. Oh wow. It just go to show you just never know what folks got going on behind the scene, man. We seeing a clear example of that. All we knew for how many years, Remy and Papoose, black love. And just here it is yesterday, she come out and say, no, that was his thing. Black love is his thing, right? And tell you something, people go through these things. People go through shit, man. People grow apart, move on from each other all the time. But when it had go down like this right here and on this scale, wow. But see, the thing is, some folks are like so invested into this whole thing, niggas and females, right? And I understand people relate when they see Remy and Pap. Like I say, they think of black love. They think of their own situation. They're thinking of their baby daddy, their ex, their baby mama, good or bad. You know what I mean? Both, indifferent. You know, it's a reflection of what everybody goes through one way or another. But, you know, it just go to show these people ain't perfect neither. You know, that's really all it is. It's just a shame that it's happening like this in front of everybody. You know, but my thing is people have to be sensible and understand nobody actually knows the real. We can only get a feel off of what we think is the real, you know, and go off of that, decipher it like that. You know, despite what either one of them say, we just don't know. We don't know. You know, and that's what some folks fail to realize. All this criticizing and bashing on both sides. Y'all need, like, man, y'all corny for that. Everybody got an opinion. We all done formed an opinion. Yeah, but damn, you know, because I see a lot of folk who got so much to say to the point where it's like you would have thought they was in the damn bed with these people, bro. Remy's fans and supporters versus Pap's fans and supporters. This shit crazy. These fools going back and forth in the comments. You got women on Remy's behalf going over to Pap's side while he's live under his comments telling him he look crazy. He need to shut the live down. These women call themselves trying to drag that man on behalf of Remy, going off of every word like they know that woman in real life. Everybody swear they know what's what. You know, as soon as this person say something, they take it and they run with it. Don't sit there to try to actually make it make sense if you're going to actually run with it. You know what I'm saying? Think they stand up for what's right when people need to, you know, it's here. So people going to watch it and talk about it. But I'm just saying, how you call yourself trying to stick up for this or that person, going to them with what the other person said. They could have just said that just to make that person look crazy. You don't know. The real is you only going off what they decided to put out. Niggas wouldn't have known nothing if they ain't say nothing at all. Like, you know, and respectfully to Rem and Pap, because I ain't got an issue with either one of them. But I'm just saying we don't know what's what. These are two people who are airing each other out, you know, personally in response to what the other person put out. Now, allegedly, the thing that kicked all this off was Clarissa Shields going on the Breakfast Club. And, you know, I guess she was talking about her and Papoose is in love or whatever. Some people's getting on her because some people felt like you should feel crazy sitting there saying you in love with a man who's technically still married. You know, so some people ain't really feeling that about her. You know what I mean? But she did say that, you know, yes, technically he's married, but him and Remy been split up, you know, for a long time. So, you know, I guess it depends. You know, some people feel like that ain't good enough or whatever. I don't know, man. But anyway, some people say that's what made Remy get in her bag. What she was saying in that interview, which I didn't watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'll say this, though. All this wasn't going on. It was quiet as a mouse before that motherfucking interview. She goes live, Remy. She telling Pap, come get your shit. She really got blood things sitting, waiting to be picked up. And I ain't gonna lie, she did pack him up pretty neat. She had a little respect about his clothes as far as that. Anything else, she was just going a little bit in on. According to her, she talking about how she tired of the narrative being one way to the public. Talking about, you know, Pat wasn't really holding down the fort like that. She basically let people believe that he was the one holding her down. Even while he was locked up, she say that things like the rent was being paid because of her. She went there with it. She said Pat wasn't who people thought he was, man. You know, she say how she bought his teeth. She went there with what she was buying. You know, she did the money talk thing. how he's on her medical insurance, but that's because of the law. She accused Papoose of running off with her jewelry and take it to the pawn shop. Oh, nah, nah. I hope Pap ain't go out like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, she showed a picture of a receipt. I ain't even want to read that shit, fam. Now, Pap, Pap don't really be in no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Pap in no bullshit like that. And Remy just now started being in bullshit ever since she came, started rocking with Easy or whatever. I wonder if she would have ever came to the battle rap world, would their shit be out there like this? You gotta wonder. Pap, he felt it was necessary. He had to speak up, man. He had to speak up, when certain things get said. So what he do? He goes live. He start emptying the clip. He bring up how Remy was messing around with women while the little girl in the same bed. How he was at the crib with the baby while she was gone for hours at a time. She had an apartment like 40 minutes away from the house. So, she was there with Easy and all this. So he got the address to that and everything. He even played a few recordings of her and Easy, right? Apparently, Easy, was in the recording. I guess he was really talking about blackmailing Remy or whatever. And he say Remy came to him, basically blaming him, like saying like you shouldn't have hit him, you shouldn't have knocked him nigga out. You know what I mean? And all of this. He did say he had to put two and two together initially in order to find out if Easy and Remy was really rocking like that. But when he did put two and two together and found out that it really did make four, he said he told Remy, he gave fair warning he was finna put hands on him when he came across him, which he did. Easy swore to God it didn't happen, but we know for sure, Papoose repeated it a couple times, refers to him as the lame, right? Easy ain't gonna never stop hearing that. I would hold off any plans of battling, fam. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to hear nothing about this shit, I wouldn't battle no time soon. Just when you thought it was all clear and the Remy talk was done, here we go again. Nah, man. Especially you talking about battling people like Mook and all that. Man, shit. With this shit, and I do feel like Easy's rep took a big blow. Think about it, because how can we as fans of battle rap watch you, listen to you talk this big bad Philly gangster drug talk when it's another nigga walking around still bragging about putting hands on you? Which was mandatory. It was a given that it happened. Some niggas would have did worse. Easy lucky if you ask me. And Pap say he ain't put hands on that man because he was clapping Remy. He said, I put hands on that nigga because he looked me in the face, greeted me, shook my hand like we was cordial, like it was all good, and clapped my wife. Not girlfriend, wife. Somebody you built a whole life with, you got history with, made a baby with, been through the trials, tribulations, ups and downs, been on both sides of the mountain with her. So majority of the battle rap culture don't look at you and respect the way you was moving and the decisions you made. You know what I'm saying? You think people was jealous of you easy. People just don't respect the way you was moving, messing with another nigga wife. You know what I mean? Whether they was rocking or not. It's a possibility Clarissa and Easy could be nothing more than side pieces in this shit anyway. What if even after all of this, Remy and Papoose will work this out? They might get back right. you know? It's not impossible because that's what marriage really is. At the end of the day, is working through the hardest of the hardest times, right? I would not be surprised at all. That would be some wild shit because it sure is a lot. It sure is a lot to come back from with all of this. I'm not gonna lie. One thing I personally did not like is when Remy tried the little nigga Pat with the money talk by talking about, oh, she paid for the teeth in his mouth, etc. Basically, Pat wasn't holding it down financially and all that. I didn't really like that. Here's the thing about that. If what Pat said about writing 90% of her raps is true, shit, then she might owe him some bread. That's a fact. Again, that's like a credit, no pun intended. That's a credit to Pat and the type of person he is, because he wasn't even on it like that. All them years that he was writing for her, just think of some of Remy's best the shit she's known for, even the Sheath did this, for example. Now, people figured that he had help with that. This nigga said 90% though. Damn. She owe him some bread, if anything. What? You didn't buy that man teeth. He bought them teeth. You know what I mean? Because he was like, yo, he just wanted to see his lady shine. He just wanted to see his lady be great, even with the expense of his own career. Because of him looking out for Remy, writing for her, putting time and effort into her, his woman, that kind of like slowed him up from becoming, and who knows? Who knows how big Papoose really, really would have been if he wouldn't have met Remy, fam. You know what I mean? If Pap, she need to understand this though. If Pap didn't write the raps, you wouldn't have made the money you got to even brag. So, actually, he bought his own teeth. He made that money technically. You might owe him a couple dollars, Remy. If on the real, you might owe him a couple dollars. So I would chill with that money talk. Yeah, I never like when women play that money card. I just don't respect that. Because when they getting it from us, everything is copacetic. The minute it's on us and we getting something from them, or he ain't shit nigga or bum, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's just a shame. You could really hate a motherfucker as quick as you fell in love with them, you know? And the thing is, that's dangerous. It's dangerous because when y'all know each other like a book, everything that was once a safe secret turned into a weapon with the quickness. And that's, and that's when it just hit different. You know what I'm saying? And it hits you like, damn, did I really ever know this person? Nobody's exempt. It just go to show. It just go to show, man. But whose side is y'all on? Who do y'all believe more out of everything that was put out there? Papoose or Remy? Realest one.